What's up, everyone? My name is Curtis, and this is my channel, Hot Action Fishing and Fab. Today I'm going to be working on my project skiff I have behind me. Going to be working on doing the stringers, getting the stringers all marked out and measured up and laid out so I can get them all cut up and installed into the boat, so we're just that much closer to getting on the water. I seen a trick like a long time ago on how to measure stringers using fishing line or using just regular string or whatever, and the dude said, you know, there's stringers for a reason. Use string to mark out your stringers. I don't know how true that is, but I don't know. I found it works very well and it's easy to do and it gets the right measurements that you're looking for. So I'm gonna flip you around. I'm gonna show you what I got going on here. All right, I measured from my transom forward, and I got my bulkhead where I'm gonna want it to be. It's gonna give me a 5.5 foot front deck, and then it's like 7.5 foot floor for the boat. What I did is, like I said, I measured out where my front bulkhead's gonna be. I marked where it's gonna be, and then all I did is I just took I did some high vis yellow fishing line for you guys, so you can see it too in the camera. Just taped it off from side to side. I pulled the line nice and taut through the duct tape. I did it 2 more times in the middle, and then back here on this, across the back here. And then what I did is I took a main line to go from the back of the boat to the front of the boat up there. I taped the line and I let it just ever so slightly touch, make little X's, touch, and I found that's where I want my stringer to be. That's straight from bow to stern. And then now I'm just gonna take a tape measure, and I'm just gonna measure from my rear bulkhead, which my rear bulkhead's gonna be right there, and then I'm just gonna measure down every so many inches. I'll probably measure every 5 inches, and that'll give me the appropriate measurements from that stringer down, because that's where my floor is gonna be, at the bottom of the floor. And that'll be my stringer. That'll give me the exact measurement for the swoop of the stringer to follow the contour of the hull. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully it makes some sense to some people. But yeah, that's what I did. So I'm gonna pull some measurements right now and then transfer them onto my Coosa board and get it cut out. Cut along dot to dot with a circular saw in order to make the contour of the stringer that I'm looking for to contour the shape of the hull. Sorry, I didn't record me cutting this stringer. Like I said, I cut dot to dot and made the swoop with my circular saw. Alright, there's the stringer in the boat. It's pretty sweet. The floor is going to rest on this lip and that lip over there, all the way down the side. That's where my floor is gonna rest on, and then just right on top of the stringer. All I had to do to really make it fit is just do a little bit of trimming and rounding for this fillet weld. This fillet. But yeah, that's what I'm working with. Next, I'm gonna add in a bulkhead right here and right there. I was always told, working with composites and using them for floors and stuff like that, like kind of the rule of thumb is like 24 or 25 inches. You don't want to span much more than that without having some kind of a support to support the floor, or, you know, if it's like a main structure point. maybe 30 inches you can probably go without having to worry about a support. So if I was to do it that way, I would actually be fine, because my boat's only 50 inches wide, so half and half, 25 inches, I'd be good. But I want to add a bulkhead in the middle here, just because to add in more strength to the bottom of the hull there. So I'm gonna add in some bulkheads across there. But yeah, little glassing tip for y'all. Another little tip, like I said in a previous video, don't get rid of your templates very fast, because I think I'm gonna be able to use this template that I use for this big main bulkhead to actually make the bulkheads for the stringers underneath the deck, the bulkheads that go underneath the deck. So yeah, save all your templates, and you might be able to use them for something else. Save yourself some time, and well, time is money. So boom, and there we have it. And all I did with this piece of Coosa right here is I just literally, it's rested on the lip that I'm gonna have my floor rested on both sides, on that side and on this side. I just set it across, and you know, I like to leave a little bitty gap in between you know, my stringer and my floor, because obviously there's going to be a little bit of peanut butter or thickened resin in between the floor and the bottom of the hull and the stringer, and then the top of the stringer and the floor. So you got to have a little bit of wiggle room. Same thing with these bulkheads. And like I said, I used my template that I used to cut this bulkhead out with. Ended up being a little bit more trimming, but I got it to work. Now I'm going to transfer this onto my Coosa and get it all cut out. I got those templates transferred over onto my Coosa board, and now I got them cut out. There we go. We got middle bulkheads all done up. So next is I'm going to sand some more on the bottom of this boat, get it all ready to get glassed up, and bond this thing down with some thickened resin. Alright, I got that sanded, all looking really nice, all cleaned up. Got like 90% of the gel coat out of there. I'm gonna start wiping all this little Coosa. This is my back little bulkhead. You'll see where this goes. I think I didn't cut this on camera, but you'll see where it goes. And then I'm gonna clean up both my little bulkheads with some acetone, wipe down my stringer, wipe down where it's gonna go. I'm gonna mix up my peanut butter and get it laid in. I'm gonna take my plastic spoon again and use that to make my fillets, and then let it cure overnight, and then we'll come back in and we'll lay up some 1708 over top of that. Should be looking pretty sweet. Another little money saving tip, scrape out all this peanut butter the best you can, and if you're careful, you can just ever so slightly work your way around the outside of this thing, and you can break out these big chunks, and you'll be able to reuse this little bucket. But if you're not good to it, you'll snap the bucket too. Alright, there we go. I got like 99.9% of all of it out of there. But yeah, this thing, if you do that, you'll save yourself a $1.95 every time you go to mix up some peanut butter. And yep, that's what we're gonna do next. Mix up some peanut butter. Got my peanut butter. Got my trusty piece of cardboard and my plastic spoon. That's all I use right there for my fillets. Alright, here we go. Start splatting it down. Alright, there it is. Sorry, lost track of time. Yeah, it got darker a lot faster than I thought it was gonna. Or I just was working too slow, one of the two. But yeah, the stringers and those two bulkheads and the final bulkhead back there, can't really see it, that's all bonded down. So I got my fillets all made up with all the stuff that I used to bond it down. I was able to make my fillets with it. And so now I'm just gonna let it cure tonight, and then well, tomorrow or maybe this weekend I'll be able to lay up some glass and tab it all in and get the stringers 100% done, so I can start cutting the template out for the floor and then get the floor mounted in and bonded down and all tabbed in. Alright, there y'all go. Alright, a couple nights ago I laid up my stringers. Well, I didn't lay them up, but I got my fillets done on them, and it was dark, so I wasn't able to see very good. I was working under the like a spotlight that I have, and well, giving off shadows, and the lighting sucks. I wasn't able to see my fillets very good, and usually to make less work for yourself, you make your fillets perfect. If you make them perfect right out of the gate, you don't have to go through and sand them and make them nice smooth transitions to lay fiberglass over top of them. But that's where this here Dynafile comes in, and that's what I'm gonna use to tighten up my fillets, fix my mess ups, and where I didn't get my fillets smoothed out very good. I'm gonna use this to get in there, because it's like the radius is like almost perfect for what I use for my fillets, for the tip of the plastic spoon. So stay tuned. There we go. Alright, that's not the only place that I messed up, or didn't lay my fillets in quite right. So I'm gonna go around and fix them all. So here we go. Alright, I got that pretty much sanded. Dynafiled the fillets where I wanted to. One little pointer that I'm going to do, or one more little tip that I'm going to do really quick. I'm going to take some sandpaper and just go along each fillet, just to kind of not really do anything too much besides just make sure any like little high spot, like a possible like one of the little 1/4-inch chops flipped up and just sticking out pointy. I'm going to go over with the sandpaper just to make sure that it's not going to cause any issues when I go to lay my 1708 in. Because what will happen is if there's like a little spot, a little raised spot, or possible even a sunken spot, could cause an air pocket. So I'm going to go through and just doing that sanding just lets me visually look at everything and make sure everything is 100% ready to be laid over top of a fiberglass. So here we go. Alright, I got that all vacuumed up. I'm going to go start cutting my 1708 out for my stringers. I'm going to do 2 layers once again, like I do with the Bulkhead. Probably 5-inch and an 8-inch layup. But obviously before I lay the glass over top of it, wipe everything down with acetone, get it all cleaned up. If I forget to say it before I start laying stuff up, make sure it's nice and clean. But yeah. Next, start cutting up the 1708. Alright, I'm going to show you guys a really quick tip with cutting your 1708 for doing inside corners when you're doing your stringers. So it makes it super easy just to get this thing cut out, and it lays into the corner, the 90-degree part of the stringer very well. Watch and learn. And this is a one of my drops from cutting out the 1708. This is one of the leftover pieces. But all you do is you just cut out, you know, this is gonna be my tab, and then I'll cut it right down the middle. And then, you know, you cut that little relief cut, and then watch. Boom. Just like that. And then that thing will be able to lay right up into your corner, super nice and easy. Just look at that, and then you flip it, twist it, and boom, and that will lay right in your corner, super nice and tight. Boom. Same thing as I've said in the other videos. Just wet out your area where you're gonna lay your glass up, and then I wet out my glass. I put my glass in place, use my chop strand 2-inch brush to tap the glass into the corners and into the radiuses really good. Then I come back in with my fin roller and I roll it out really nice and make sure I get all the air pockets out, and then just keep repeating itself. I did 2 layers of 1708. I think I did a 5-inch layer, and then I did like a 10-inch layer. Yeah, just got good overlap with the layers of 1708 and made sure I got all the way up the sides of the bulkheads and the stringer. Alright, and that's part 6 for the Johnsen micro skiff build. The GoPro died like, I don't know, probably like 3/4 of the way through, so you're gonna like miss a little bit, but same as I did for the rest of the video. Just wetted out the 1708 on that piece of board back there, and then put it in, or wetted out the stringers, and then put the 1708 up against the stringer. Used my chop strand brush to tap the 1708 into place a little better, and then I came in with my fin roller and really worked it in and tied everything together. And then same thing when I put the second layer on over top of that layer of 1708. So yep, like I said, this is the end of part 6. If you guys have any questions, any comments, you know, leave them down below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. In part 7, I think I'm going to be templating the floor. First I got to trim everything, all the excess off the stringers, and then do a template for the floor, and then lay that up, glass the bottom of the underside of it, and glass the top, put it into the boat, bond it down, tie it all in, and I'm explaining to you guys now. You guys will see in the next video. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day.